say, oh, okay, we need you to direct. I'll say, no, what do you think? And they will always say, my job is not to think. My job is to follow directions. And I say, no, you need to tell me what you think. And so by the time you've sent it back 6 or 7 times, they will actually come up with their view. And when they come up with that view, it may be a view I agree with, it may be one that I don't agree with, but at least I've got them to go through that mental process of trying to solve that problem.
We still see that the civil service have a lot to play in the role of governance. The civil service governance is incomplete without the civil service. And then I still see that the civil service still offers the best compared to the private, because we tend to promote professionalism, whether or not people see it. But I think that the civil service promotes professionalism. However, I think we need to move ahead. Rather than relying on the past, we have to move with the times, especially in times like this when there is a lot of technological improvement. So the civil service also has to move along so that we're not cut off from technology, from what is happening around us.
Often we don't talk to one another and we try to invent a wheel that has already been established or set. So these kinds of meetings help us to tap from what our brother states are doing and doing better than us, and for them to learn what we are doing and also benefit from it.
The gaps in ICT, you must initiate mechanisms to address all of this. There must also be internal and external communication. Measure your objectives from time to time to know that where you are lacking, why are we lacking, you review it so that if you have to have adjustment. So this is how we manage the change.
Significant strength as far as Akwa Ibom State is concerned is that we have hammered on the need for digitization of service processes, and it is a strength that Akwa Ibom State had long started this process, even though it's not concluded. And the present administration of the state is also leveraging on what the predecessor left behind as to digitization of the service processes. We are also working towards acquiring digital infrastructure to ensure that what has been there on ground is being utilized and efficiency is brought into service and effectiveness of delivery.
So many things have come out of these retreats. So what we need to do right now is to put in place a mechanism for tracing these things. For example, we've agreed that we need to digitalize the process in the civil service between now and 2026. The first thing we need to do is to get the buy-in of our principals. Those are the governors. And once they give the go order, it will now depend on individual states to set up the process, and we'll be monitoring and ensuring that there's a report to the governors every time they meet as to where everybody is, so that we can meet the 2026 deadline.